Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sporting160EN Podcast. We are on episode 103, I believe, and today it's only the two of us. The other guests and hosts were busy, but without further ado, Chris, how are you doing today, my man?
I am doing good. Sorry for the slight delay. I had some technical difficulties. Seems to be okay for now. I don't want to jinx it, but yeah, I'm doing good. Another game with a late winner and some sketchy moments, but yeah, just kept it moving and yeah. Now we have new problems to deal with as we'll get into.
Yeah, exactly. So, just before we start properly, I just want to give everyone a quick notice. If you missed it on Twitter, we are now on Spotify and we have a whole library of videos and podcasts out on Soundcloud and now Spotify, available to download offline if you have Spotify Premium. Not an ad. I wish it was because we'd be rolling in the money at the moment. But yeah, I mean, it helps us out if you watch YouTube, if you watch SoundCloud, Spotify. I mean, we're very grateful to have the following, the ability to do that, and it's something we've been looking to do for a while. Me and Steph, when we first started, we were a bit unaware of how to do that, but now we've got it. And shout out to Danny as well, because he was the one helping me upload 102 SoundCloud podcasts, and that did take a few days. So shout out my man Danny. But without further ado, I believe we've got some Twitter questions. Unfortunately, Danny's not here today, so I don't exactly know how he usually pulls up everything looking like Mr. Robot. But I'll go to the tweet and we'll just read out the Twitter questions and we'll take it in turns answering, as there's only two of us. We're also keeping on the chat, so if any of you want to pipe up with any questions or any answers to any of the questions we got, I mean, that's fine. Okay, starting off, we got the first question from our man Danny Saldana. Let me find that. He goes, I'll give this one to you, Chris. Thoughts on Pop being in the under-21 squad? Should he have been called to the senior team, or does under-21s need him more?
See, so how the under-21 works is it's the group stage now, and then if you advance out of the group stage, you play in like the knockouts, which is in the summer.
Right.
So I do kind of understand why they would want him for games that I mean, if he was in the senior team, he wouldn't play, right? Maybe he'd get time if they're up like 4-0 against Azerbaijan or something, which could happen. But yeah, it's disappointing, especially because I think he's been one of the best players in the first division, and I don't really think that Rafa Silva deserved to be included. So you could make an argument that you could just swap those two out directly. But I mean, if he's gonna start and play and contribute and help them advance out of the group, I guess I get it.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I feel like he's much more valuable for the under-21s, and I'm not gonna lie. I look at the under-21s team, and we'll get onto the whole selection a bit later. But I mean, there's some future stars in there. Definitely, there's Trincao, I believe. There's, I think we just have a great setup, and I think in a few years' time we're going to be overloaded in some positions, especially the attacking ones. But yeah, on to that. Danny's next question was actually at me. He asked me, is Thiago Tomas the GOAT, and how excited is everyone for bringing Paulinho back? I'll say Thiago Tomas is not the GOAT. We'll get into his goal scoring later as well. But I don't know about you, Chris, but for me, I'm looking forward to bringing Paulinho back into the team. With a record signing like that, I think it's like he's going to change the team. I know he hasn't scored for us yet, but I think he offers just more than scoring. And I know people say that for Thiago Tomas a lot, but I think Paulinho's levels above. No disrespect to any of the many Thiago Tomas stands out there. But what do you think, Chris?
No, I agree. And honestly, maybe, I mean, they could be short a couple of guys this weekend, right? I mean, I still think that Thiago Tomas can maybe even start on the wing, and I honestly have always felt like he's been more valuable there. He's just the best stand-in for the center forward position, which we have been criminally short at for like 2 years now. So yeah, I am very excited for Paulinho to come back. We need him, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. Shout out to the guy who asked the next question, Nuno Gabriel, or Gabriel. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, unfortunately. I know there's loads of different ways, but He was one that watched all of our podcasts, I believe, from episode 80 to 102. So shout out to him. But we're going to get in, like I
He
said, to
did
get a
it.
bit later. He did. He's an absolute hero. But Chris, did you think the penalty call on Thiago Tomas, or the non-penalty call, should be a penalty?
I think they got it right. I don't think it's not a penalty for me. It's like one of those where there's contact, like there's like there's some mild contact, I guess, before he touches the ball, but I don't. It's just such a nothing situation. Right? His back is turned. I mean, Thiago Tomas really went flying, sold it about as well as he could have.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he did his part. Not enough to convince the VAR, and to be honest, I kind of inclined to agree.
Yeah. He asked another question as well, and this is more tailored to you because I don't watch, unfortunately, much of the modalities. But he said, "Who is everyone's favorite modalities player?" He said, "Could be one for each or just one." And he's named a few of those, including our boy Travante Williams for the basketball team, who also was a part of Nuno was a part of his Instagram live story, which I missed because I was asleep. But apparently, it was a good one.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's awesome.
Yeah, but do you have a favorite modality player for any modalities, or do you want to go through your list? Or
I mean, I have a couple favorites. I'll just name a couple. Travante definitely one of them. I mean, João Matos, right? Like, what a great symbol of our club. There's a bunch of guys in the futsal team that I like. I really like Eric. I mean, Cardinal. Like, I don't really follow these guys their personal lives as much as I do the first teamers. Like, obviously, I follow Travante's personal life because he's very forthcoming about
he's
it.
very open, yes, open about it.
But on like the ladies team, I Carolyn Baldwin, American, Nirvana, the captain,
Follower of the Sporting160EN page as well, I believe.
Like there's a bunch. I can't say like Nuno that I have like a favorite. I don't really watch too much volleyball. I'll admit. So I don't really have a favorite volleyball player. I just when they're playing, I'll root for them to win. Just generally,
Yeah, no problem. He's asked some more questions, but it's going to tie in with our later segment, so I'm going to leave that one for now. Anthony Menez has asked, "What are your thoughts on Matheus Reis so far? He seems to have got Ruben Amorim's confidence, but is he an upgrade on our goat and tunes?"
What do you think about Matheus Reis? Because I've gone back and forth with him, honestly, in the time that he's gotten a decent amount of minutes. To be fair, mostly actually, I guess he's played as like the left-sided center back, and he's played as the wing as well. What do you think? What do you make of him so far?
I think we've got to remember that he hasn't played since, I believe, last season in, I want to say July or June. But so he's obviously got a lot of time to sort of catch his stride. But I don't know. He was really good on the first game, I thought, or maybe it was the second game he came on. But I thought he was pretty bad against Tondela when he came on. But as much as we have like the meme of Antunes, I do think Antunes is a solid backup. But I mean,
I do think Reis is probably more versatile. Like, I don't think Antunes would stand in as well at the center back spot, but. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the jury's out. We haven't seen enough. We've probably seen a total of like 40 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe a half, right? In like 3 increments of like 15, roughly.
Yeah. I was going to say as well, if Amorim has his trust in him, then he has my trust just by default. I can't fault.
He did earn it quickly, it seems, right? Like he's put him in a bunch of time. I don't know, like. He didn't put Bragança in for like 4 months, so like this guy just came right in and he's already subbing him in. So
it makes me think if he actually wanted Antunes, or was that like a Sad or a Brandis, or even like a Ferro suggestion? Because he doesn't seem to use him a lot. All that being said, Nuno Mendes has been absolutely fantastic. But I mean,
he had a great opportunity to use João Pineda because Porro was out. Like, you just signed him.
Yeah,
you didn't have a backup right back. Now you do. What do? You still don't play him there. He did not earn the confidence of Amorim in his first 2 weeks.
I'm pretty sure I remember Jesus as well doing that. I think it might have been with Pereira, it might have been the season after with Battaglia right back. But I mean, what is it with sport managers playing random players out of position? It happens literally like every single manager spell. Let me see. Paul Rodriguez asks, would you guys consider doing a live watch along during a sporting game? I think that would be fun. And Abdallah, who's in the chat at the moment, has also replied. I'll take this one if you don't mind, Chris. We've been having a back and forth on this, and we would love to do it. We've also would love to do it, but the issue is time zones and match quality. Really, if we can't all watch a match at the same time, we don't want everyone being in the stream and say my stream's behind, but in Chris's they score, so Chris is celebrating. I'm just here staring at the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, we will definitely give it sort of a trial run. Maybe not this season, but maybe the coming season, or maybe some sort of in like friendlies or something. We're gonna trial it out. We don't know when, but it's a promise. We will definitely look to be doing that, because it's something I wanted to do for quite a long time, but it is quite difficult to do. I'm not sure if you have anything to add on that.
No, agree.
No problem. I'm just looking at some of the questions, like literally are just for the last segment. So I'm just going to do one more scroll. Let me check. Marco Veloso at Marco Veloso 25 says, people say it, Sporting don't play nothing, but I don't see the other teams playing anything. Let me see what that says. Attack. Okay. He likes more attacking football, but if this is what it takes to win the title, let's keep playing this way. Do you have any thoughts about Amorim's style, especially the last few games? Not really been that attacking, but
no, yeah, I agree. I have the same thoughts, right? So, but we're at a point now where these games we're thinking about them differently. Like, let's just say in another world, a bunch of these games that we've chosen to shithouse in and gotten the result could have easily not worked out, right?
Yeah.
They have basically all worked out, including the Porto game, which is a tie, which ended up being a great result. Could have easily not been. Some of these other games with a bunch of late winners. I mean, it's just everything keeps going right. So you can't critique the outcome, right? But I guess the only thing that there is to critique is it feels like I don't know. It just feels like we're just one of these games away from being in a sketchy position, but we just keep churning them out. And this Tondela game was the perfect example. 65 minutes of that was just complete dog shit. Just
yeah.
I want to forget that I watched at least 2/3 of that, but they got it in the end, and the +3 doesn't matter on the road. Just next, it's crazy, and they're gonna run out of games, they're gonna at this rate, the other teams are just going to run out of games,
Yeah,
that's how I feel. So yeah, I totally feel you, and it sucks sometimes, and it makes your heart does not good for the heart to do this strategy often, but if it keeps working out, I guess we have to just keep doing it, right?
Yeah, it's one of them where we always try to be positive here, but it's it does feel like one of these games is gonna come back in the future, if we continue playing this way, is gonna not go the way we want. Some of them, I'm not taking any disrespect.
And then it's how does the group react to it, right? Which they haven't really had to deal with at all,
Yeah, and it's just some of the performances, especially Tondela and Santa Clara, and even as far back as Gil Vicente, is just we are really coming sort of that level where it's shithousery and just poor performance. And I think I will take a win over beautiful football, and I said it since I started watching, but I don't think that the way we're performing, and that is due to injury with Paulinho, obviously £15 million or euros, sorry, for your signing, who doesn't actually end up playing, is not the best. But I think we're on thin ice here.
And trading away or loaning away your €7 million signing in the process.
Yeah,
so you've lost €20 million in strikers.
Well, yeah. I guess it's so disappointing to see and like look at how many players we've gotten rid of for literally no reason at all. But I mean, the deal probably doesn't happen if Sporar goes that way. If he doesn't
Yeah,
go,
if he
so I guess
doesn't, yeah, agree.
it's sort of a
Hmm.
silver lining.
It's just unlucky, is what it is, more than
Yeah,
anything.
definitely. Abdallah has asked two Twitter questions. I'm just gonna read out the first one. Which is a better comedy show, Friends or Porto?
This season, Porto is an absolute clown show with their antics.
Mhm. I mean, I'm just gonna say it. I mean, it's a bit off topic, but I don't rate Friends at all in the TV show.
I don't watch like shit like that, so I can't give an opinion one way or the other.
I've tried watching it, but it's just not for
Not
me.
for you.
Not for me.
It's
No.
old,
My
right?
girlfriend loved it. She always sit there and watch the same episode like like 5 times in a row and like watch the whole season together. And I'm just sat there. I'm like, this is not funny. Like, but he also said Haaland published a picture of himself wearing a jersey with a lion. Do you think that's a sign for us?
We get where is like the foreign capital injection coming from?
We'll probably just have to give Sporar the other way on a loan, and we'll be set.
That's all it'll take. Yeah, I mean that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Kid's good.
Yeah. I mean, definitely an upgrade even on Paulinho at this point, but I don't think he's going to go anywhere apart from Premier League or Real Madrid. Yeah.
Yeah.
The last question comes from our man Abdallah as well. He goes, "Last minute goals are my favorite thing in football, but do you agree with me that our hearts can't take it and we need 4-0 wins to relax a little bit? And also, who is the king of last minute goals, Coates or Sergio Ramos?"
Yeah, they are. The last minute goals are great, but yeah, I mean, it's like it feels like we're like I guess like this is if this is like equilibrium of an equal amount of good things happening to you, we are definitely in the positive, a surplus of good things. So it's like it feels like we're gonna have a couple bad things to even it out. You know, it's like when the guy hits 7 threes in a row, it's like he will not keep hitting every three he takes. Like he's gonna miss a few. That's what it feels like, you know. We've hit 7 threes in a row. It's like, will we keep hitting 8, 9, 10? I don't know. It's like that's the mystery. That's the whole thing. Yeah, the last 4. I think the last 4-0 convincing win we had literally may have been when we played these guys in the first round.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So that was probably like 4 months ago. So yeah, we could use another one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to agree. It feels like we've not had a comfortable win in ages. Like, I don't.
I mean,
What was
think
the
about
last?
like the Fedens game. It feels like since like the year turned 2021. I feel
Mhm.
like since the year turned, we just skate by almost every single result.
Yeah, the last game I remember thinking like we're going to win comfortably is when we were 2-0 up against Braga, and even so, that was quite late on, as in like late in game minutes. But
And
I
Braga
mean,
still had a lot of fucking chances in that game, you know?
yeah, like, yeah. I mean, please just I'll take a 2-0 or a 3-0. I don't just want like us to rely on like last minute goals to win. As much as I do love them as well, but I would love I think I prefer like 90-minute goals when we play actual like good football, or like not even good football, but like against the Benfica or against the Porto. I will take like 90th minute and I'll celebrate. But it's like as much as I celebrated goals against like Santa Clara and Tondela, it's like
it's relief.
Yeah, it's more relief than like gloating in a sense. But yeah. I think that's all the Twitter questions we've got. We'll move on to the game because we've actually got quite a lot to discuss at the moment. So it was a 1-0 win over Tondela away. Starting lineup is as followed: Adan, Nuno Mendes, Vidal, Coates, Inacio, Pedro Porro, Pedro Gonzalez, Palhinha, João Mario, Nuno Santos, Thiago Tomas, and Braganza, Matheus Reis, Bruno Tabata, and Jovan and Matheus Nunes came in. Chris, what are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of briefly gotten into it. I mean, this is one of those games like many others like it. It's not. It really I would say the first like 45 minutes are basically a complete wash. there was the one Thiago Tomas chance at the end of the half where he kind of like cowered away because I think he thought like the goalie was right there and was gonna like run into him, so he didn't fully. He kind of turned his body and just headed it over. It was disappointing, to be honest. But definitely after the first half, I just kind of accepted that this is what it is right now. Like the only like all the solutions that I thought like Bragança, Tabata, Jovan, like those are like Amorim like did every change that I like was thinking, like as far as like what he's able to mix up right now, like get João Mario out of there, get Nuno Santos out of there. I mean, he kept Tomas in the whole time. I mean, there isn't really anyone else to take him out unless you put like Tabata or Jovan up top, but he still put both of them in. Is it the Bragança effect? Is that what it is? Like, because when Bragança came in again, like I thought he was excellent again. He was winning tackles too. Like, if he can play that good defensively consistently, like in his minutes, like I think like he can start over. There becomes a point where it's like we not only do João Mario not need to start, like we don't need to pay 10, 12 million euros to keep him around. It's like and then it's like if you bench him, it's like who cares, right? He's not even your player, it doesn't matter anymore. Like I'm honestly like I'm ready to start because honestly Matheus Nunes also like had better performances like recently, I feel like. So I don't know. Sporting has a lot of good talented midfielders that are young, and the club belong to the club, like I don't know. It's not like João Mario was even that bad in that game. I'm kind of shitting on him a little bit more than he deserves. I just thought he was just a zero, he was just like he
was invisible, really.
Yeah, he was out there. He wasn't fucking up, but he wasn't doing anything. So yeah, I think Bragança really changed the game. I thought that Tabata and Jovan were, they added a little more to the mix. It was an okay Pot game. Pot's had seems like he's been having a tough time recently. Full stretch run. I mean, you can't expect him to keep up the form he's in forever, right? So it happens. It's not like he's been playing awful, just not at the top of his game. And yeah, the goal just kind of fell out of the sky, right? And Thiago Tomas literally found himself right in front of the goal with no one around him, right?
Yeah.
It was awesome. Relief. It was relief, yeah. We took it was just like, woo! Relief.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, I pretty much, you hit it on the head there. It was I thought it was one of the games where I didn't think anyone played particularly well. When I look back as well, and I look at who they gave man of the match to, they gave it to obviously they gave it to Thiago Tomas. But like, I mean, if he's got man of the match, I mean, we didn't concede. So
that's a cop out, right? It's just because he scored, right? I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think he was the best out there.
But like, it's like I said, I wouldn't really pinpoint anyone and say, oh, he was good or he was fantastic. I mean, Porro is always solid.
Porro stood out in the first half as like the only one making anything happen. And then and then I would say like overall like Palhinha, Kawats, like our solid pillars were all just solid pillars,
So, yeah, and like, I mean, I'm looking at the stats I've got here. I mean, possession, we dominated and we had more shots and we had more passes, but it's like those really don't matter at the end of the day unless it's convincing, and that wasn't. You can name me all the stats you want, but like you said, João Mario was pretty much non-existent in that game. I look at Nuno Santos as well, and I think, how is he start like he had that really like purple patch of form at the start of the season, and him and Pot were literally inseparable. They were so good. It was literally like a Shaq and Kobe, but like Nuno Santos and Pot. but like I don't know if he's good enough to start anymore. And I think I know he got dropped a few games ago, but I think he needs that motivation as well. Like, if you're going to keep playing like this,
The
we've got
frustrating
Jovan.
thing is I feel like every time he starts Tabata doesn't do good. Like,
Yeah,
Tabata always does better when he comes off the bench. So, like, he keeps giving these opportunities to him. Like, it's like he's dropping the new sense. Like, there's an opportunity to grab a spot now if you have, like, a convincing performance. And it's just like, he never does. And it's like, damn.
yeah. It's
So
like,
it's like, and so he just ends up starting new sense again, like a game later, you know?
but I think it's that thing where no matter in his head, probably no matter how bad he plays, that he's probably going to be the one of the guys that's not going to be dropped. Because I mean, like you said, Tabata hasn't looked promising since he's been starting. Jovan can't last 90 minutes without like tearing a muscle or anything. What do you put, like, I don't know, a midfielder out there? Do you put, and like, I don't know, Matheus Nunes?
Mateus Nunes, yeah.
Like, there are guys like Plata as well. I know he's not been really good this season, but it's like, if you see that and you're Gonzalo Plata, you're someone in like the B team who thinks he's ready to make that jump, you're like, well, I'm never going to get ahead if this guy is going to keep starting. And like I said, I'm no professional footballer. I can't do what Nuno Santos does. But I feel like with him and John Mario, just like, it works. Like, it does work because we've not lost, and like we've been like, we've not lost, and we're winning games, but they're irreplaceable. You said about Braganza, and like, I do think he's probably at this moment in time better off the bench. But I think I would start Nunes. I think Braganza reminds me of, like, bring it back to like a basketball term, of like a six man coming on, and like when you need that energy, just doing your bit, and that's all he does. And I'm not sure if you've seen that table. It's another talking point I wanted to get on. It's Premier League Liga NOS table. Sorry, without extra time, so just 90 minutes, and we're second because all of our important goals that have been wins have come in 91, 92, 93. Braga are top. I want to know what you think about that. Is that a worry for us, or do you think, we're winning games? Let's don't fix what's not broken.
Yeah, that's amazing. How far ahead is Braga?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but it must have been like five or 6 points, something like that.
Yeah,
it was
that's crazy.
quite.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you remember the first game we played against Braga for the league when we won 2-0. Like, I mean, on another world, that game is like 3-1 Braga, easily. Like, it's I don't know. They I guess they're just more inconsistent. Maybe they have a higher. I don't want to say a higher ceiling, but like, because I don't think that that's even true. But like, maybe their highs are high, but their lows are lower than ours, and our average performance has just allowed us to maintain a base level that doesn't allow us to drop points against Portimonense, which is, didn't they just do that this past weekend, right? Like, we just haven't done that at all, at any point this season. We haven't had a game like that. So they've had like 5 games like that, and that's the difference.
Yeah. And in terms of Tondela, I know we don't really speak much about the other teams, but I think as a unit, they were good. I mean, there wasn't anyone I thought, oh, he's amazing. But in terms of their game plan was to sit back and, cause us trouble on the counter and just
Santa Clara and Ferenc, I thought all did that very well against us.
I will say, I've watched some Friends games. I can't claim to have watched them all, but from what I see, I know they sit quite close to the relegation zone, but they've been good, and Ryan Gould as well.
They're very organized. Yeah, the teams that are well organized, like,
it's literally,
it must be so frustrating for them, right? They study the plan all week, they do it, execute it perfectly, and it works like 99% of the way there, and then they get 0 points out of the game.
Yeah, it's like Emery said in this press conference. Do you think, and that's no disrespect to any of the teams about to name, but like, do you think Tondela and Santa Clara and like Ferenc and Portimonense come to Sporting and think we're going to get the 3 points? No, because they're happy with that one. If they keep us to 1 point, that's not a knock on them, because that's a good mentality to have. You take points off them. It's a point in a relegation battle. It can be, in terms of staying up and going down, can be crucial, but I think as a unit, Tondela were quality. I know they've got some players that I recognise looking at the lineup. Fernando Fonseca, I believe, is in there as well. João Pedro at centre mid.
Yeah, Rafael Barbosa came in for them, former Sporting player.
Is that Salvador Agra as well? That name?
Yeah, I used to play for Nacional. He was like kind of one of their like one of the like marquee players on like those Nacional teams that like weren't that bad.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 years ago.
But just before I ask you some questions about the game, I will say Thiago Tomas, he did score, right? And you know, as very much as everyone else probably here, that I'm not his biggest fan, but that chance what you mentioned earlier when he sort of got scared of the keeper, I think like I know he's young, but like you're taught like to not be scared of like your opposition or to be scared of the ball when you're very, very young, like when you're like 9, 10. And I was looking at that and I was just like, really? Like, I mean, I would probably do that because I'm not a professional footballer or I don't get paid the bucks. So I'm like, I'm not going to risk like getting clattered here. But I mean, I saw it and I was just like really, like, is that the best we have? And then he did make me eat my words a bit when he scored because it was a good finish and it was good play. But I mean, yeah, like you said, I think Thiago Tomas's best position is out on the wing. I think with Paulinho coming back, I think it could make Thiago Tomas look better. And I mean, hopefully Paulinho does come back because there's rumours of it, but like nothing's certain. But let's get into some questions regarding the game. Let's start off with everyone's favourite right back, João Pereira, getting sent off for some reason. I'm not sure if you have the exact quote of what he said, but
Yeah, it was like
what do you
fuck
think of it?
off. It was like basically he said fuck off to the assistant ref. Like that gets you sent off. Damn, I seems like that's definitely not a consistent standard, but okay.
I mean, there's some guys who shall not be named in the blue and white. Like you can hear it, especially without fans. You
Yeah.
hear everyone swearing at everyone. But I mean, do you think João Pereira was? I know it's harsh, but do you think he should know better, especially if he's training to become a coach? That's stuff you can't do really unless you're Sergio Conceição or George Jesus.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Was that sort of like an inexperienced thing? Obviously, he's old, but like in an experience of like a managerial role. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know if it's harsh because or if they're kind of targeting him because they know that like or I don't know. It's like if he's it seems really weird and like random. You don't usually see them give a straight red to a player on the bench. Sometimes they'll give a yellow if they're really being annoying, but it's like if all he said was fuck off and he got a red, like it seems inexplicable, honestly. Like if that's really all, unless there's more to the quote and he was like
Because when it was happening in real time, I thought maybe it was like a pharaoh or like a goalkeeping coach, because that usually does happen when like a goalkeeper coach or like someone who's not.
They don't mind giving a yellow to one of those guys or a red to one of those guys because they're not like like it doesn't affect the game itself, you know.
Yeah, but like I don't know. For me, it's like I agree with you that it's harsh, but I do think if he's going to become a coach, he can't be getting sent off every other game. But I mean, that's just me. But I will ask you as well. This does have long-standing effects. Coates finally gets his yellow card. I think it was like a 10 or 11 game match streak that he didn't get his yellow.
It was soft as shit. Also, you know what I thought? The only thing going through my mind watching that was Tad is gonna get a letter, and we're gonna do the Paulinho saga with Coates now. Because I mean, it's a complete fucking dive. It's bullshit. It's a complete dive. But I don't think that they did it. It'd be too much.
Yeah. What do you think of it in general? Are we going to struggle without him against Guimarães? I know it seems like a stupid question because he's our captain, but do you see us?
I feel like Neto hasn't played in a while now, right? Like, first off, I guess, do you think he's gonna go with Neto?
Unless he puts Matthews Rice in, but
I think it's probably Rice or Neto, and then he'll go.
Or unless he just throws Quaresma in there as well. But I think it's
maybe Quaresma will make the bench as a result of this.
I think in experience, I think you've got to go Neto here, just in terms of missing that leadership.
I hope he's not rusty as shit. You know, I don't think he's played in like two months, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe maybe a month.
Maybe
I
it
think he
hasn't been
might
quite
play.
that long. Maybe it's only been like a month, like 4
Yeah.
games.
But a month is still quite a long time without playing football as well. So,
Yeah.
like, I mean, the
Maybe
next
the
question I
Reds
was
did
going
him
to ask,
good. I don't know.
yeah, the next question I was going to ask is one that comes in the chat. Did you see the Coates? Do you think he should have been sent off for that sort of push or sort of like foul on? I can't remember what Tondela it was, so you're gonna have to forgive me there. But if you remember it, do you think it could have been a second yellow? Do you think it was?
I'm trying to remember what this was.
He sort of like they were going on the counter attack, and he sort of trips
Oh,
him and pushes
yeah, I
him.
do remember that. No, I think it actually was. It's sketchy, right? It's totally sketchy because he could have given him the yellow card if he wanted to, but I think there was enough guys back. It wasn't like a counter. I don't think it was. It's close, right? It's marginal, but
Yeah.
I think he actually got it right. But I remember being scared because I was like, he could have, if he interpreted it slightly differently. So I actually do think he got it right, but it was close.
I personally think that I think he got it right as well. But if he would have given a second yellow, I know the first yellow was literally nothing, but if he gave that second yellow, then it's
Yeah.
like he sort of does have to give it. Because
Mhm.
if you look at, say, it might have not been a counter attack, or it might have been, it's very marginal. But it's one of those things about Coates. I think he does have that lapse in concentration sometimes that could have really hurt the team. But I think the ref got it right. But again, if that happens, then I'm just like, Coates should know better. He's on a yellow card. If it was
Yeah.
like I don't know, and it makes me think if Coates wasn't on the yellow card, would he be given one? Does the ref know that he's on a second yellow? And it's like, okay, it's a bit harsh, but
Well,
I don't
I
know.
mean, as we know, like these guys, they know who's on the suspension line. So
Mhm.
I mean, I think he's forcing it with the first yellow. So,
Mhm.
and it's like if it's a conspiracy to get him suspended, why wouldn't he just send him off then too? For
Yeah.
good measure. I guess it wouldn't really do anything, right? Because he'd still only be suspended for 1 game, I think.
Yeah, so it would have been 1 game
Yeah.
regardless, unless it was violent conduct. But that,
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would. So, if it's a conspiracy against him, I don't know.
But like I remember
It,
seeing at the time loads of Porto and Biffy fans on Twitter saying, "Oh, it's a yellow," and like in real time I thought as well. And then watching it back, I'm still now on the fence because like to be honest, if I saw Otamendi or Vertonghen do that, then I'd probably say, yeah, it's probably a second yellow. But again, it's one of those where I think the Tondela player definitely sells the contact, but there is contact there.
mm.
But like, I mean, no, I've just spotted a tremendous question. No, we are not on TikTok, but I mean,
Not yet.
if there's enough hype around it, I'm sure Danny can bust out
Yeah.
some TikTok dances, and we'll get Steph on it and Nando on it as well. Get on those trends, but no, I don't think there's anything else regarding that game apart from who do you think was the man of the match if you do have one?
So I'm gonna give the man of the match to Daniel Bragança. In 15 minutes, Daniel Bragança had twice the amount of defensive actions as João Mario had in the entire game. So
Yeah,
he's on the come up. He's on the rise. If his like defensive aggressiveness is like, because I feel like that was the thing where it's like everyone knows he has the technical ability and the ability going forward. It's like, does he have like the physique and the ability to compete like defensively? And I think he's been massively improved in that area of his game over the last like month even. If he keeps moving like that, like he's on the right track.
definitely. I mean, I think, like I said, I don't think there's anyone that stands out. But for me, Paulinho is always just. He doesn't need to be on like the like having those stats, like to be important. He wins tackles a lot. I mean, he's pretty much just a leader in that midfield. If I had to give it to anyone, it'd probably be him or Bragança. And just because you go for Bragança, I'm going to switch up and go for Paulinho. I mean, I'm not sure if that's the shirt you're wearing.
Right here,
I was
yeah.
just about to say, like, I mean, it's weird because
kind of.
yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, if you want to see it, it's on your Twitter page, isn't it? So
Yeah, it is.
So do you want to plug that or?
You already know, Big Chris 69. You guys already follow me.
No problem. I mean, you could get some of those new listeners out on Spotify. You never know.
True.
But
At
yeah,
the Big Chris 69 for all the new folk.
no problem. Like, yeah, I was just about to say for Paulinho, it's like a lot of us since the Alcashot attacks, and there's that picture of him crying, I believe. I want to say it was against Avs, or it might have been the game before the league before the attacks happened. But like,
Yeah, I don't remember if that was the Maritimo game or the Avs game. I feel like it was probably the Avs game. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't blame him if he cried at either because they were fucking awful. But like, him getting loaned out to Braga is probably one of the best things that has happened to his career when you think about it, especially under Amorim.
He wasn't gonna play here. He wasn't gonna play here, so
that's what I was just thinking. If Amorim doesn't come here, do you think he stays? I think he sold off to a Zenit or wherever. I don't remember what team he was linked to, but
yeah, it was like Wolves and Zenit, I think, or CSKA maybe. Yeah, it was a Russian club and the usual English suspects.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I'm happy he's here, but you know, who knows how much longer?
Yeah, because Amorim trained him directly at Braga, right?
Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure he was the one who convinced Randus to let him stay.
Yeah, because it did seem like the money from Paulinho is just like, yeah, this guy's on the George Men's 15 mil, like he's gone, like, you know.
Yeah, 100%. To Andre Mark's question, no, just so anyone is not familiar, I will.
What they're gonna take, bro?
A hat trick at least, or like like an actual good performance. I don't want to see him like not jumping for headers and like. I remember, was it Santa Clara he missed the open goal? Where he just absolutely like volleyed it into like the stands. I can't remember. I think it was that game. Might have been the game before, but like, I mean, I just want him to score at least twice. To be fair, I will say against, was it Aberdeen? I think he scored in Europa League. Was that him?
Yeah, I think he did score in that, and he became like one of the youngest scorers in Europe for Sporting. Yeah,
he scored against Aberdeen, and then the game against Links, and obviously the Links game went down.
He scored against Lask.
I think he did. We lost 4-1, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We lost 4-1, but I don't remember who scored the goal. I thought it was. I mean, I could be wrong.
I mean, I was definitely on the train there. If anyone,
I think I deleted that game from my memory. No, I mean, I was definitely not on the Thiago Tomas train back then. I guess I'm probably 30% more on it than I was before, but I'm still not on it. Like, I just like put my foot up on it, but that's it. You know, I haven't like fully stepped on it with half my weight yet. I'm like 30% on it.
Yeah. So confirmed. Apparently he did score both goals in Europa League qualifying. As well. But yeah, I mean, this comment here as well saying that TT is going to be a great player. I don't have any doubts about if he'll become like. I wouldn't say he'll be great, but I think he's going to become. I mean, he grows with confidence, and I mean, I'm not probably the best person to be given like for shitting on him. Let's not give him confidence, but like that's going to happen. Yeah, if he goes to Arsenal, so the rumors say. Have any of you seen an episode of Arsenal Fan TV? You think they're gonna praise my boy Thiago Tomas like that? I don't think so. But
there's no way that is happening.
I mean, yeah, Arsenal have been linked to Joelson, Thiago Tomas, and
I believe they've never actually signed any of our players.
I don't think they've even bid for any of our players before. I don't know, but yeah, that should be the end of the Tondela game. What I'm going to move on to now, if you don't mind, Chris, is the national team selection. So, as of the main team, we've got Nuno Mendes from Sporting and João Paulinho. We've also got a bunch of players that started in the academy.
2 players in the national team. Haven't had that in about a year, right?
I mean, the last one probably would have been Bruno and William. And like Rui Patricio, be than those 3.
Bruno was on the team in 2019, though, so it's been probably at least a year since we've had someone called up. I feel like.
I think 2 players. The last time we had more than one was the World Cup 2018.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just saying, like having even anyone on the team.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just let's not just talk about Portugal here. We've got Fidal being called up. I mean, Coates is a regular
Porro got his
international.
first call up for Spain.
Yeah, I mean,
Adon
we
robbed
quality. We wish.
robbed of that
We wish.
third goalkeeper spot. They
I
kept it.
mean,
They kept it in league.
I don't even know who they're like. I know they've got like De Gea and they've got
It's like
the
some. I think he's like the Betis or the Villarreal goalie or something. Something like
Oh
that.
yeah. I know the guy speaking of. They've
Yeah,
got like a loads of good goalkeepers though. That like I mean, it's gonna be
yeah.
hard for them.
It's tough. It's tough for like a 33-year-old getting his first call off to be like a third string. They're gonna just go with the younger guy, just because they see more growth potential there.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think about Paulinho's and Nuno Mendes call up? Do you think? Because I know a lot of people have been complaining if they get hurt or whatever, but I think for them, I don't think they're really thinking like that. But like, what do you think? Is it a risk?
If anything, the like the under 21 and all that stuff is like more of a risk. More in a risk in the sense that like it means less, right?
Yeah.
I guess it's just kind of the risk that you run when your players represent their countries.
Yeah,
They're
definitely.
and it's like I guess it's a good thing. It's a sign of pride. Like even like any like Sportat or even Rostovsky, like when they do good things for their country, now we can hopefully have Paulinho or Nuno Mendes do good stuff for the team that we all support. But it's like I'm rooting for their national teams, even like so it's like it's a great honor to represent your country. So like I think
Yeah.
it obviously has more games and more risk, but
Yeah, I mean, the only one I'm sort of worried about is Nuno Mendes because I know he's struggled quite a lot with injuries this season, and I mean, I don't see him directly starting in. We've got three games: one against Azerbaijan, and one against Serbia, one against Luxembourg. I think he probably starts the game against Luxembourg, maybe Azerbaijan. I don't think he's gonna start in all three or even play in all three. I
mhm.
think Rafa Guerrero's there, and he's been solid all season. But he's job leading. I'm fine. I don't think he doesn't seem. This is gonna sound really stupid, but he doesn't seem the type to pick up like little injuries here and there. It's
No, he's
just
a
like I feel
tank.
like
He's a tank.
yeah,
Yeah,
he'll get a few scratches or get like an elbow and just play on. But
yeah.
I'm looking at a team. I'm just going through. So we've got the famous Alcochete Academy. So we've got Rui Patricio, who by the way, glad he's regardless of club whatever, glad he's alive for one.
Yeah,
Because
are they expecting him to even like travel or what?
well, he said he's all good. I think he last time I checked, he's. I don't think he had concussion. I
Yeah,
think it was just,
scare.
just I could be wrong, but I think it was
But
just that
if I
result
recall
of impact.
correctly, the last time Portugal played, he had kind of lost his spot to the Leon keeper a little bit, right?
Anthony Lopes, yeah.
Yeah,
I
he had like,
mean,
and the Anthony Lopes had like two great games in a row, right? And we were all like, "Oh shit," right?
yeah, I remember. And there's that Rui Silva as well, who's apparently doing
Yeah, he's
doing
been
great.
playing well for
Granada,
Granada. Yeah, well deserved call up for him. Yeah, but
yeah. But I'm
I
look,
was gonna say Anthony Lopes might be the starter anyways. To be honest,
yeah, true. I mean, Wolves have been not the best this season,
Yeah, no,
but
the goal that he let up before that happened in that game was really bad.
it was literally like prime Patricio. He's been
Yeah,
he's not been
yeah,
great.
he hasn't been that great this year. Yeah,
No problem. But like looking at the team as well, so we've got Rui Patricio from the academy, Cedric, Domingos Duarte, who was obviously let go by. Correct me if I'm wrong, Verandis. I know Bruno loaned him out a few times, but I don't know who actually pulled the trigger. I think it might be even Sosa Sintra, but I mean, I believe is Joe's Font from our academy. I'm pretty sure he is.
yeah, he is.
Like really, really back in the day.
Yep.
Nuno Mendes, obviously. João Palhinha, Bruno Fernandes, not from our academy, but former Sporting player. Jean Moutinho, Cristiano Ronaldo, and I think that's it. Like I can see, but like, are we back to the 2016 like Sporting Academy Portugal team where like, I mean, I'm pretty sure we have the most like former like academy players in there, but like, Do you think any Sporting players were missing from this call up? I know we spoke about Pot before. Do you think anyone else maybe should have got a look in?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I, I think that's it, right? I don't think Braganza is going to get in this team. I don't think Tomas is going to get in this team. I don't think Neto. Neto is like he was maybe on the fence if the center backs were worse and he kept playing.
Yeah.
He maybe would have been on the fringes, but that obviously not true anymore.
I can't speak for Domingos Duarte, but apparently from Twitter he's been having a great season too. So.
Yeah, it seems like he has, yeah. And dude, so has Font. Font's been absolutely absurd this season. Ruben Diaz is great this season. Pep, great this season for the most part, especially recently. Like Portugal low-key is set at center back, which is a crazy thing to say.
Yeah.
Well, they're not set at all. It is not long-term set, right? Because two of those guys are like 37 plus. But for now, for this summer at least, they're good. Maybe Qatar too, but that's about it.
Pepe, I could see that because, he doesn't age. Like watching him against Juventus was
it was crazy.
But it's true that like Jeremy Mathieu, one day they can look like they can play on for 2 or 3 more years, but then that one injury happens, and then the older your body gets, the harder it is to recover from things such as like torn muscles and ligaments and stuff like that. So hopefully, knock on wood, hopefully they play till 2022, Qatar, or if that I don't know what's going on with that. They're still going ahead or whatever, but no, but
it better go ahead. They fucking killed 10 people a day building those fucking stadiums. Like they don't have it there. Jesus, it's all for nothing, then.
Well, I don't know what the COVID situation is like in Qatar. I'm not with the vaccine stuff.
There's like 100,000 people there, and they're all like sheiks, so they probably all got the vaccine. They're probably fine.
Yeah, that's true. But let's move on to the under 21s, and I'm reading through here. I see Lewis Max, who has not played a lot this season, but
I agree with Abdallah. Sorry to interrupt. I couldn't believe Inacio wasn't in it. I couldn't believe Inacio wasn't in the U21. That was fucked up, man. When I didn't see him on the list for the under 21, people were like, "Oh, is he in the senior team?" And I was like,
"I thought." I was like, "Damn, already."
I was like, "Damn, I don't know about that, but that's crazy." But he's not in either. What are they doing? Jeez.
Like I said, I guess it's better for us to get a bit of a rest. But I think he maybe not the main team, but I reckon he does a job for the under 21s. But I think the under 21 centre back position is quite stacked as well. Diego Liete as well is a great player. Thiago Jalou, obviously a Alcochete product as well. Just looking there, I think we've got, like you said, centre backs in the moment are quite old, but you see good players coming through, and I think Inacio is going to be one of them. Inacio, to me as well, is someone.
Inacio is here to stay.
He's
100%. Not going anywhere.
Do you think he can play as like a holding midfielder? He's got that like the passing ability is not like standard for that centre back. I think he does balls like Braganza does, and it's quite good to see. But do you reckon there's future for him?
No, I think that there's I think that there is like that's a skill that like can go a long way in a center back. Like if you have a center back that can ping it like perfectly, it's good. Like Coates, right? Coates has gotten a lot better at it, right? His long passing has greatly improved, and it's noticeable. So I don't think that I think that it can be a productive skill, even if he stays in his position, or if he plays a center back in a 4-4-2, right? I think he'd be fine.
Yeah, I agree. But we had no defenders in the under 21s. We have the academy products of Thierry Correa and Thiago Jalou. I'm looking at the others, don't recognize any names. But midfield, Daniel Braganza, obviously, been having a great season. Pot, who we mentioned earlier. Do you think, obviously, with the situation with COVID, do you think Matheus Nunes should have been in there? I don't know if is he Brazilian or is he fully Portuguese?
I don't. I feel like recently he got his Portuguese citizenship.
Yeah.
But I could be hallucinating. But I feel like that was a news story recently. Recently, as in the last 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. But yes, he's obviously originally Brazilian, but I think that he has his papers for Portugal. So yeah, I mean, how is he? I guess they couldn't just be like, we'll just have the sporting team with some under 23s. Yeah, we'll just use that team. They could that would piss off everyone else too much.
Yeah, and like I mean, we mentioned it earlier, but Pot I think is going to be. I think if we're looking to sell, which I think we might be for Pot. I know we only have 50%, but it's tournaments like this and like that really will put someone on the map. Like I feel like, especially with this current generation, like I mean, especially in like scouts, they tend to look at like these type of tournaments, like Jude Bellingham for Borussia Dortmund, for example, came from like the under 17s tournament and stuff like that. But I mean, it's definitely going to increase his price tag for me. But I think he's going to do well, and I think
I mean,
hopefully the team goes
that's
far.
what I think for Palhinha too, right? Like, if he has a great Euro, like the great season, he like that just makes the price go up even more, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And then looking at the forwards, there is one name there, Thiago Tomas. Do you think that is a fair call up when we've got a lot of attacking players that are I think are ready to make the jump? Do you think Thiago Tomas deserves a place there?
Yeah, I think he deserves a place. I do think that he probably got the benefit of playing in Portugal, right?
Yeah.
If he's had the exact same string of form that he's had on Valladolid, is he in this team? I don't know. I think that like playing in Portugal or playing for one of the bigger clubs, especially for something like this, like it puts you like on that map. It's like I don't know. I just feel like you obviously benefit. Like for instance, can watch you play easier, stuff like that. You know, like there's definitely some internal politics. I know there's internal politics because Rafa Silva's included in this fucking squad when there should be
How
for absolutely, it's inexplicable that he's in the squad, right? So I know that there's internal politics of the clubs involved in this shit, right? So yeah, I think that probably played to Thiago Tomas's favor in this case, but I do think he deserved it, right?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there is, especially in Sporting's Academy, we've got like Joelson, who's supposed to be, if you look at every news sort of article on us, there's always a mention of like, you know how they always have like YouTube videos, like the top 10 players come out of Liga NOS or like them type of videos. He's always on there. Whether he's like 1, 2, or 3, he's always usually in that list. But I mean, I'm not sure if he saw his free kick he scored the other day for the B team, I believe, Joelson.
Oh, it was bar down, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolute beauty. And I think I would have liked to see him there, but like, I mean, it is what it is. I do think Thiago Tomas deserves it. I can't really see who gets called up instead of him.
Mm-hmm.
But let's move on from the national team. Obviously, you mentioned the Portuguese national team. You mentioned Porro, and I saw it earlier. I'll try and get the comment back up again. There we go. Abdallah is worried about Porro as he's the only right back called to Spain. I'm gonna have to agree. Whether I think I don't know what formation they play, but one, it will be great to see Pedro Porro starting, and there's a reason I'm starting.
That would be crazy. That'd be crazy.
I mean, yeah, there's a reason I'm mentioning him right now, which we'll get to in a minute. But like, is that a worry for you? I know I mentioned it about Palhinha and Nuno Mendes, but considering he's the only right back in the team, does that worry you a bit more? Especially he was coming off a little bit of an injury there. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that just is Iron Man for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
He basically plays every minute of every game, always. There, up until a month ago, there wasn't even an alternative. And now there is an alternative, and he doesn't even play him when he's not in the team for the first time, like ever.
Yeah.
So it's like, how much of a replacement is he actually? So yeah, the last thing he needs is another 180 minutes, right? In a weekend. Would they do that with a guy who's uncapped? Really, just throw him in a full-time starter every minute? Like, damn.
Well, I mean, I see they might see his age and just be like, oh, he can go
Yeah,
for ages. Like, I
and he'll
mean,
obviously want to do it, right? Like
yeah,
get his
he's
first
at that
cap.
age.
Yeah,
But like, the reason I bring up Porro is because we have a rumor going about Man City having a buyback clause of, I
yeah.
believe, 17 million.
You know what I low key think of this rumor?
What?
It's only from Abala. Recorded has
Yeah.
not reported this.
Mhm.
If this clause existed, it would have come up before now. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's just fake news, straight up. But if it is true, what choice do we have, right? You pay
Yeah.
8 and then they give us 17. All right, you still just made 9, and we got a season out of a great player, right?
Well, potentially 2 seasons, I think, because we could wait until the end of the second season
Sure,
to.
but it's like what in this like theoretical buyback clause that exists. Like, yeah, is it only activatable after the second year of the
Yeah,
loan?
true.
I mean, yeah, I mean it always seems precarious, right? Like I think we all watched Pedro Porro play like 4 or 5 games, and immediately like knew that like down the line this is probably going to be a problem, right? He had
Yeah.
such a meteoric rise. He's tied to Man City. I know he's on the 2-year line on. I know we have a relatively low offer to purchase. I mean, it's not low. 8.5 is a lot of money, but like
Yeah.
relatively, right? I think Man City paid more than that for him. So like it was a good deal, like a very good deal. Seemed like a sweetheart deal almost. Like and
Yeah.
now he's had such a good season. He's in the Spain team. Like it seems impossible that Man City wouldn't want to be exploring their options, right, to get him back because he's their player already. You know, it's easier than to get someone else's player. So yeah, I mean even if we are unable to even if we are able to hold off Man City,
Hmm.
there's other giants that will want him, right?
Yeah.
Like we might be in like a Demiral situation, you know.
Hmm.
And to be fair, I think we could make more than 17 million from him anyways. Like if we were to sell him today, I think someone would pay like 30 maybe,
Yeah.
25. Like
30 definitely.
yeah, I think someone would pay that, right?
Yeah.
So if we buy for 8 and then have to sell the next hopefully we can keep him for next season, but if we have to trigger the 8.5 and sell for 30 the next day, which is basically what Alanyaspor did, and we make 23 mil and get 2 great seasons out of him, like it's good business, right?
Yeah. But the thing so I'm going to start off by saying 100% I agree with you. If that was a clause, then sure, why would they wait till the 18th of March to
Hmm.
randomly bring it up? Like, I mean, I think it would have been announced with the deal. I mean, even when the deal was done, I think a lot of us were confused. Was there a purchase option or not? I think it was confirmed sort of like a month after. But the issue and the worry even I've had with Pedro Porro, we have that option of 8.5 million. That doesn't mean he has to accept it and sign the contract. If he doesn't want to sign, he doesn't have to. And I
That's
think,
why I feel like I just want us to activate that off. Like that, like
mhm,
for some reason, I feel like if we wait the full 2 years, that offer will somehow just like not be there, or like something will happen, or they'll play some game. Like I feel like we just need to get him on the books, get him signed like this summer, right? Or I feel like we'll lose our chance for some reason.
yeah, because like especially like you said, under 21s. Sorry, proper. He's in the national team for Spain. He was also in the under 21s. I think the selection before this one.
Was
He
the
has had,
captain also for the
yeah,
under 21? Yep.
he's been the best right back. I don't think there's any debate in Liga NOS this season, especially. I mean, that CV, especially, let's say he does stay around for a year and we have the 2 year loan and he balls out in the Champions League. Obviously, we're probably not going to get very far. Let's say in the group stage, he's one of the players of the group stage. If he gets offers from, I mean, an Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, even a team like Spurs, United, Liverpool, even like a team in Italy, is he going to think, I'm going to stay here and potentially not be sold until my release clause, which would be 50, 60 million, which I know a lot of teams won't pay for him, even though he'll probably be worth that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's more unlikely to say, you know what, I've had 2 years here. There's nothing more I can do. I've won the league, hopefully by that point. Like, what else is there to do? I want to become a national team, and unfortunately, the Liga NOS is not a place to become a national team regular unless you're really a Portuguese national. I think. I mean, I've got that worry that he's just going to say no. I'm going to sign back to it. I'm going to sign to Atletico. I'm not going to sign a deal because there always is that issue. But it's gonna. Have you seen that meme where it's like, oh,
I feel like he wants. I feel like he.
Player.
I feel like he I feel like he really is enjoying Sporting though, and like if you gave that contract to him right now, he would sign it.
Yeah.
Right, but I agree. If you wait 15 months, I don't know if he thinks the same that he thinks right now. You know.
Like, I mean, I don't know who his agent is either, but his agent's going to be saying, if you sign that, you'll be tied down to however many years with a release clause. But right now, you could go to a top team and
I can get you twice the salary. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's definitely a worry. But hopefully, yeah, like you said, at the moment, he seems to be loving life here, and hopefully it stays that way. But yeah, I mean, I wish him luck for the national team games, but hopefully, it's like, do you want him to do well? Like, especially if I forgot to even mention the Euros if he gets called to Spain.
I think I said this on a pod like a couple months ago. Like, don't get too good. Like, he's getting too good, right? Like, he officially got too good, right? Like, Man City noticed, right? Like, they clearly fucking noticed now, right? He's not flying under the radar because he could be playing very, very well and flying under the radar, but which he was for like a couple months there. But now he's scored. Like, I feel like he had like a goal scoring run in like big games.
When he scored that long range screamer, when that went viral on Twitter, and I think we were all collectively like, "Oh shit!" And like,
and now he's in the national team. Like, yeah, he got too good. They know.
Yeah. Like, yeah. I mean, I think that's all we can say on that. Let's move on to the next topic, which is, unfortunately, has come back. It was at the start of the season, but it's back now. We've had a few COVID cases confirmed as of now. Only 2, which is good, but obviously COVID spreads. So it could be more than 2, symptomatic and stuff like that. So Matheus Nunes and Antunes have been declared positive. I mean, it's good news with the international break coming up that we get that break, because if we do have those COVID cases, I believe the international break's maybe like 2 weeks or a week and a half or something like that.
Yeah.
So we have that time to recover. But is this something that worries you? I know it did take our squad out in the start of August, and obviously I believe in January as well. What do you think?
Yeah, it definitely scares me. Just because, like, obviously, right, it probably fucked up their practice schedule this week. Like, there's the things that you don't think about so much. Like, since they're probably all isolating right now, so they're probably not going to train again normally, at least for the rest of the week. So Amorim probably had, today we're going to do this, Thursday we're going to do this, Friday we're going to do this. Like, totally throws all that out the window. Now they're doing like Zoom tactical sections probably from their houses. Yeah. It like makes everything get messed up. Obviously you're already down Coates for this game. You're down João Pereira, which who cares, I guess, right? So you're down 4 people now already, at least. Like, if it's only those 2, I guess it's good, but like low-key, I'm expecting there to be a couple more, right? Like they were.
If you look, there's the 2 people who sat on the bench, right? And like, if you look at it, really, Nuno Mendes was in obviously close contact with all of them being on the bench, and they trained together. There's guaranteed to be at least. I mean, to be fair, we said this last time about Sporar and Nuno Mendes, and it was only them 2, I'm pretty sure, apart from Paulinho and the coaching staff. I don't think there was any more than that. But I mean, if we get that lucky again, then yeah, good. But I mean, like you said, it's gonna it's gonna be a tougher game on Saturday, especially with all the absences. And you've actually got a comment for you there.
I love João Pereira. Like, I was happy when they signed him, and I was like, I fucking love João Pereira. But as far as what he's offered at so far, it's been very little.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, it's not his fault as well. I mean,
I think he's hard done by the suspension also. Like,
but like you said, was he going to play? Like, I mean, he was. Like, who knows? But
it would have been a very desperate situation because of COVID if he was playing.
Yeah, and also in that game, no Nuno Santos due to injury. Apparently, not confirmed if he won't be in the actual team.
He was out of training today, so I feel like he could maybe be out. They could be thin. They could be thin this weekend, right? They could be thin. So another game where you just got to shithouse it, right?
Who would you have starting instead of Nuno Santos? Is it Jovan time?
Maybe if you have Paulinho back, you can put Tomas out there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, but then, yeah, I would personally, we give him his slack, but I would like to see Jovan Cabral come back into the team.
I do too. I just don't want him to explode.
I
guess we can afford maybe a 1 or 2 week injury, right? Because you got the break. So yeah, it might be a good game. It might be a good game to start Jovan. In case he pulls his hamstring, he'll only miss 1 game instead of 3.
And if he does get injured, we got to batter from the bench anyway, so it's fine. But yeah, before we get into modalities and any other updates we have, I'm going to ask you your predictions for the game against Guimarães. Obviously, we've mentioned Coates not being there. Definitely no Matheus Nunes or Antunes and João Pereira. What do you think the scoreline's going to be, and who do you think is going to score, and how do you think the game will go?
It seems like Vitória of Guimarães is in like a kind of inconsistent run of form, right?
Yeah.
We'll be thin. We'll probably I hate to say it, but I feel like this game will probably be more similar to the Tondela game than dissimilar. 1-0.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll come sooner than 80. But yeah, I think it's gonna be like that.
Yeah, I mean, who have you got scoring for the 1-0? Do you reckon Paulinho starts?
Paulinho that'd be a good one, right? I'm gonna go Pot. Pot has not scored in a while. Pot needs to get back on track, get some confidence back, I think.
Okay. I'm gonna agree with you in terms of game quality. I think, especially with the squad we have at the moment, it's gonna be tough. Especially with that, I don't think. Well, I know for a fact the defense of maybe a Neto, Inacio, and Fadal has not played together all season in a unit, so to speak. I know they've all played separately, but I've got to admit, I see Guimarães getting one past us, especially without Coates, who is that. We give him the nickname El Patron, but that's him. He's always shouting. He's the captain for a reason. I mean, can't say 2-1. I think probably something stupid like Quaresma scoring a Trivela from like 25 yards out. But I mean, I see 2 really different comments here. So we've got 3-0 from Felipe, and then that suffering our first L. I mean, yeah, for me it's 2-1. I see Quaresma scoring for them probably in I want to say a brace from Paulinho to win us the game, but probably in the 90th minute or something stupid like that, because we've been poor. But I mean that's pretty much it. Have you got any Den of Lions updates or any modality updates you want to share?
I guess our Den of Lions update is their big tournament that they're in that we touched upon briefly when Andre was here is in 2 weeks, right? I think it's not this weekend, it's the weekend after, I believe. So I'll keep you guys posted when that goes down. So I guess we're a little bit behind on modalities because we have the weekend's results, and there seemed like there was a bunch of midweek games
Yeah.
The today and yesterday. So I'm going to try to run through some of them from this past weekend, and then I'll try to hit the ones from uh, the past couple days. So the basketball team battered Beredes like 100-50. And the B team lost to Estrela Damadora this past weekend, 1-0. That's a tough result. In the qualification for the U23 Taça Revelação, which is basically like the consolation bracket, and if you win, I think you get like a spot in the cup final. Is how it works. So Sporting will beat Boavista 2-1, and the ladies beat Benfica 1-0 for the league. So they had 15 points. Benfica had 15 points. Sporting had 13 points prior to this game. So Sporting winning puts the ladies into first, 1 point ahead of Benfica now. And then yesterday they played them for the final of the League Cup, and Benfica won that 2-1. So Benfica won the trophy. Sporting, I didn't get to see that game. I was at work, but it seemed like the ladies missed a lot of chances in the second half, and that result could have been a different one on another day, or at least that they probably deserve to go to overtime or whatever. So unlucky there. Back on the saddle, ladies. Lots to play for still. It's the League Cup. It's fun to win it. If you don't win it, who cares about the League Cup, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The futsal team beat Barinhosa 8-1 at the weekend, and then yesterday they tied Benfica 1-1. So that kept it the same. It's fine result. The hockey team had a close one at the weekend. They won 4-3 against Povua, and no, that's for the ladies. Sorry, the ladies hockey beat Povua 4-3. The men they beat Family Sense in a close game 3-2, and then today I think they won comfortably 4-0 or something like that. See if I can try. I don't remember who they played, but they won I think 4-0 today. Scrolling through volleyball. So we lost the game 1 of the I think it's the championship, the playoff championship for the senior volleyball. So we're coming off the big win against Benfica in the cup final. We're also playing Benfica in the final of the league, and we lost game 1 3-2. So it's 1-0 Benfica in the finals. And in the ladies finals, the Sporting lost to Leções, I believe. And then handball played today, or no, handball played yesterday. They won by 1 goal against Aguas Santas. And then the volleyball must have played another game for the finals so they lost game 1, I guess, to Leções, and then they won game 2.
Right.
If I'm correct, today. So that must be 1-1. And I think that's it. And then I guess of note for upcoming, basketball plays Benfica this weekend. So that is a massive game. Both teams, I believe, Portugal, Benfica, and Sporting are all 18-2. So battling for seeding in the playoffs. Obviously, the derby, important game. And I think that's our modalities update.
Cool. So that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you for everyone.
I knew I fucked up the volleyball shit. My bad, guys.
You had a lot to remember in your defense. So I think one mistake is fine there. But as I said at the start, on Spotify, SoundCloud now. Make sure you follow us on Spotify to get not only episodes to your phone, you also get them downloaded if you have Spotify Premium, and you will never miss an episode. Same on SoundCloud, YouTube, Twitter, all the same handle, Sporting160EN. We're really grateful to everyone who joined us: Richard Neves, Philippe, Abdallah, Richard. Let me just see if there's anyone else that is here. Jose Pimenta, Juicebox Liao. We've got the regulars here, of course, as well. We've got Garrick Phillip and all of these guys. Thank you everyone for joining. Chris, thank you for being here today. I know it's a different one for us, but I mean, I had fun. It was another great.
It was great.
But no, thank you everyone for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.